Educational innovation in the community participation. In education, innovation can take place through either significant change in the use of a particular educational practice or the emergence of new practices in an educational system. Fraser stated that the development of an education begins with the culture of school improvement and continuous learning to solve the problem through educational innovation. School committee. School committee is an autonomous body which provides a place for social participation to increase quality, equity, and efficiency of educational management in each educational institution, which is involved in preschool education, schooling system, and out-of-school education. The school committee is a required body to be established not only for school but also for preschool and out-of-school education institution. This means that educational institution at any level in any system and of any status must establish a school committee. The school committee has oversight of and responsibility for the school system, sets the direction in which the system must go, and establishes the criteria to determine if its goals and policies are being met. The school committee is a key role to establish and review educational goals and policies, consistent with the requirement of law, statewide goals and standards. Students' guardians. Students with involved parents or other caregivers earn higher grade and test scores, have better social skill, and show improved behavior. A parent's interest and encouragement in a child's education can affect the child's attitude towards school, classroom conduct, self-esteem, absenteeism, and motivation. The most significant type of involvement in what parents do at home. By monitoring, supporting, and advocating, parents can be engaged in ways that ensure that their children have every opportunity for success. Education Council. Education Council is an educational community organization that has committed and loyalty and care for improving the quality of an education in the area. The Education Council that is formed can be developed specifically and is rooted in culture, demographic, ecology, the value of agreements, and trust that is built according to the potential of the local area. Therefore, the Education Council that is built must be a collective development of the philosophical wealth of the community in the region. That is, the Education Council developed user-oriented concept or client model, various authorities, or power sharing and advocacy models, and parentship models, which are focused on improving the quality of educational service in the region.
Learning resources. Learning resources are texts, videos, software, and other materials that teachers use to assist students to meet the expectations for learning defined by provincial or local curricula. Farrell, 1993, writes that a teaching and learning resource is any support material available for use by the teacher in the class and a reading material for children. Mintzberg, 1979, contends that resources directly utilized in teaching and learning are clearly classrooms and curriculum support resources, e.i. books, stationery material and equipment, wall pictures, blackboards, audiovisual aids, globes, maps, atlases, concrete objects, and classroom environment. Callahan and Clark, 1982, UNESCO, 1996, and Cabana, 1999, recommend audiovisual materials, namely wall pictures, chart diagrams, film tape recorders, maps, blackboards, projectors, motion pictures, television, radios, and video. Learning resources in teaching are crucial to the success of student achievement. That is, the instructional component of lesson planning in teaching depend on the selection of teaching materials. Teaching materials is a generic term used to describe the resources teachers use to deliver instruction. Teaching materials can support student learning and increase student success. Teaching materials come in many shapes and sizes, but they all have in common the ability to support student learning. Community participation. RIFAI 2013 states that community participation gives a positive impact on students' psychosocial development. The educational program, which is managed collaboratively by the principal, teachers, and community, is capable of improving the students' learning outcome. Similarly, on their research, Hughes and McNaughton 2002 found that a good communication between parents and teachers, as well as among teachers, become a prerequisite of high-quality parenting and education for children, affect children's cognitive and social development, and improve the success of education. In Indonesian context, in Indonesia, community participation has been regulated in Article 4 of Law No. 20, year 2003, on System of National Education and the Regulation of Minister of Education and Culture of Republic of Indonesia, No. 75, year 2016, on School Committee emphasized that education should be implemented by empowering all of the components of community through their participation in the implementation and quality control of education service. It also explains the community rights and obligations. It states that the community is entitled to participate in the stage of planning, implementing, monitoring, and evaluating educational program. The community also has an obligation to provide resources for the implementation of education. Actually, the community can participate comprehensively in every process of implementation of education at schools. Worldwide context. Decentralization facilitates community participation most directly when decision-making is devolved to the school level. This is referred to as site or school-based management, or SBM, and is a form of decentralization that identifies the individual school as the primary unit of improvement and relies on the redistribution of decision-making authority as the primary means through which improvement might be stimulated or maintained. World Bank 2007a-2. The amount of power that is devolved to school under SBM varies, but range from a single area of autonomy to complete control at school level. The typical areas of decision-making that are devolved to school control include budget allocation, personnel management, including the hiring and firing of school staff, pedagogy, school maintenance, and the monitoring and evaluation of teacher performance and student learning. See UNESCO 2009, World Bank 2007a, Di Gropello 2006.
Learning resources. Traditional learning resources include any textbooks and workbooks used in the classroom. For example, language arts classroom almost always have literature textbooks, writing textbooks, and even vocabulary and spelling workbooks. In addition to this, traditional resources also include any supplemental reading material like novels or poems outside of the textbook. These materials can really help to introduce new concepts to students. For example, when learning the concept of theme, a literature textbook can provide numerous reading materials all displaying theme in different types of literature. In the same way, workbooks can give some useful basic practice activities for a new vocabulary words or even writing activities that might be difficult for students. Then, when mastery is shown on a basic level, a teacher can introduce more challenging material related to that concept. The usual traditional teaching aids are blackboards, textbooks, charts, pictures, posters, maps, atlases, globes, flashcards, flip cards, worksheets, science lab apparatus and materials, models, crossword puzzles, quizzes, storytelling, dramatization, one-act plays, dictionaries, encyclopedias, reference books, learning toys, and abacus. Innovative. Innovation in education encourages teachers and students to explore, research, and use all the tools to uncover something new. It involves a different way of looking at problems and solving them. The thinking process that goes into it will help students develop their creativity and their problem-solving skills. Innovation does not mean creating something from nothing. Just like with any good science project, it relies on researching existing solutions to come up with a new hypothesis to test. Learning materials are part of a learning resource that contains materials or teaching materials used by students and teachers in the teaching process. Innovative learning materials are learning materials that are more flexible in accordance with the needs of students. To develop innovative learning materials, the teachers must understand how far the interests and talents of students so that students are motivated to learn independently so as to be able to control the competencies that have been determined. Innovative teaching is the process leading to creative learning, the implementation of new methods, tools, and contents which could benefit learners and their creative potential. Teachers tend to combine different resources in their teaching, with more than 2/3 claiming to use various modes of ICT. As mentioned by some of the education experts, one can be creative and innovative with any resources. Replacing traditional tools with technologies does not automatically lead to creativity or innovation. Combining technology tools with existing ones will allow more space for experimentation for both the teachers and the students.